All right, so now that we've set up our node environment and we know what we're basically doing, let's go ahead and start doing some examples. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control D on my keyboard to quit the node environment. That way I can start again another node environment by typing node and then pressing enter. And I know I'll be able to use these variables x and y and all that again without running into any JavaScript errors. And I'll demonstrate what I mean by that in just a minute. So this time I'm going to create a variable called x, and I'm going to again designate it with the let keyword, and I'm going to give it the value of 20 just for consistency. And then I'm going to also do the same thing for my y value. Let this equal to 40. So let y equal to 40. And then I'm going to do console.log x plus y. And we're good. We got 60. So everything's still good. However, I want to make x now some other value. So I'm going to say let x equal to 30. And you're going to see I'm going to get an error here. And you might be wondering, well, what is this error? Like, why did I get an error when I want to use x? And that's because when we declare a variable with the keyword let, essentially we can't create another variable called x again. And this is to help us, right? Like if we are used to programming in the old way of JavaScript, like if I said var z is equal to 20, and then later on I wanted to redeclare z to be something else, 40. This would work. If I type z, I can see that it's still 40. So how come it didn't work for JavaScript with ES6, right? Why am I using the let keyword? Why not just use var? What's the point? So the reason is that this is a safer way of doing coding. We don't necessarily want to create variables and then recreate them somewhere else, especially if we have a very long program. We want to limit using the same variable over and over and over again, or limit redeclaring the same variable over and over and over again. If we already have it, then just use that variable and then just change its value if you need to. Don't redeclare it again. And as we progress, you'll see even more reasons why that everybody recommends using the let keyword as opposed to the var keyword for doing most JavaScript, modern JavaScript anyway today. So I can definitely change the value of x. So I can set that to be 55. And if I add it to y, right, it'll be 95. However, I can't redeclare x to be 72 or something like that. I can only change its value. So the let keyword lets me change the value of x, but I cannot redeclare it. That's an important distinction. However, with the var keyword, JavaScript doesn't care in this particular sense. It's not as strict. So I can redeclare it and I can change its value. Next, let's look at the const keyword. So const, and I'm going to make another variable called d, and I'll set this to 32. Now I want to change the value of the d to be maybe 42. And you'll see that I get another error. And this time the error is different. It says uncaught type error, assignment to a constant variable. So what's the difference between a let variable and a const variable? Well, the const just basically means constant. Just like in math, when you have a constant, or in physics, you have a constant, you can't really change the value of pi, right? If we set pi equal to, for simplicity, I'm just going to say 3.14. Why would you want to make pi something else, 3? It doesn't make sense. We always want it to be a certain value. Like whenever we refer to pi, it should always mean 3.14, followed by a certain number of numbers, right? However, if we change its value or we redeclare it, then we're going to open up a lot of bugs. So a const is really important. It's an important distinction between declaring a variable with the let or a var way of declaring a variable. Remember, var is this most loose. It's the easiest to work with. JavaScript is not going to complain if you change the variable name. If you change the variable's value, or if you try to redeclare the variable, it's not going to care. However, if you use a let variable and you try to redeclare it again, you're going to run into a problem. However, you can change the value of the let variable. As you can see, I did that here. And then with a const, you basically can't redeclare it ever again. So I can't make this 33 because it's already been declared, and I can't change its value to something else. I get both of these errors. So again, it's all about safety, strictness, how strict or how safe do you want to be with your program. If you don't care and you have a basic program that's very short, you can just use the var keywords. If you're writing more production ready code, then you might want to use the let keyword. And if you're writing code that works with a lot of different libraries, or maybe math and science, then you want to have constants, so that way your code prevents other people or yourself from overriding important variables that really need to be set aside for important cases. Okay, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.